and welcome to the office. It's 91.3 Lagos Talks, 33 minutes now past the hour of 4. My name is Michelle Aga. And today on the office, we'll be discussing a very interesting topic about how to build a successful HR career. Now, I love and admire the HR profession, okay? They're very versatile. They handle so many things and create one of the best workforce. And I do admire their ability to spot talent, to maintain staff, take care of the welfare, build a solid team for a brand. HR really takes a lot to be an HR expert. So it's not all roses. It takes a lot of work. And today we'll be talking about how to build a successful HR career. And I'm sure there are many people out there listening to me. They're either in school studying human resource management, or many of them who are trying to create a new niche from what they're currently on to HR, to the HR profession. And there might be so many people, that just are curious about what it takes to be an HR expert. And to discuss this with me today, is an expert himself, who I'll be introducing soon. He is a skilled HR practitioner, presently working with Cadbury Nigeria PLC, a subsidiary of Mondelēz International, as the people experience lead for West Africa cluster. Now, over the course of his career, he has worked with different multinationals, giving diverse, experiences, majorly in HR across business, partnering, strategy formulation, talent acquisition, talent management, personnel management, performance management, HR administration, and employee engagement. He's a passionate HR expert and enthusiast with a flair for working with business leaders to design their people strategy in line with best practices. Ain't that interesting? Now, he does this while delivering on the business agenda. He has also previously worked with several small-scale entrepreneurs, offering consultancy in business planning and development. He currently holds a bachelor's degree in economics alongside several professional certificates. He has received several awards and commendations from business leaders and organizations for the impact he has delivered both professionally and to youth development initiatives. He enjoys sports and comedy, and in his spare time has anchored several sports programs and headlined quite a lot of events. Talk about someone who's versatile. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mr. John Alli, ACIPM. Welcome to the office today. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you join us. We have a lot to learn from you today. I'm so excited to have someone like you joining us on this very interesting topic, because you're an expert yourself and you work in one of the biggest brands in Nigeria and oversee West Africa activities for your brand. And I don't know who else I would rather have on the show to have this very interesting conversation that cuts across Nigeria to other regions of West Africa, or West Africa in general. So we definitely would love to learn a lot from you. And I'm very excited about that for my listeners. Now, for those who are listening, remember you can join the conversation via the phone lines or by texting us on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, we are at 0809 234 5913. That is 0809 234 5913. You can also call 0809 191 3913. 0809 222 0913. Call the landline numbers as well on 01 515 0913, 01 515 1913. Mr. John, welcome once again. Now, let's quickly talk about the HR profession in one sentence. Can you just describe the HR profession in one sentence?
Okay, I'll try. Okay. Okay, let me do one better. I'll define or describe HR using one word. I'll say people.
People.
People. HR is about people. It's about how do we optimize the performance of the most dynamic resource you have in the organization to deliver the business agenda, the business growth and aspirations. What we do in HR, the services, the initiatives, all the things we do is about how we can get people to experience that those services and deliver it to the business agenda. In fact, in my organization today, we are not called HR any longer. We are called the people team,
The people
because
team.
people team, yes,
Okay.
because we've come to realize that the people, the employees, the line managers, they are a key part of what we do, right? And they are a key growth factor for us as an organization.
Right, it's all about people, and I love that description. But sometimes I always think in my mind, even earlier today, or was it yesterday? Actually, it was yesterday. I was asking myself a very important question, couldn't seem to find the answer, and I didn't even know that I was going to be speaking with someone like yourself today. So let me just ask you, because I'm quite curious to know the difference between a recruiter and an HR expert. Are they all playing in the same field? Because recruiters are always looking for people, headhunting, looking for talents here and there for brands. They make some of their money and big percentages off of the recruitments that they are able to close. I'm just wondering what the difference is between recruiters and HR experts.
Recruitment is one of the key facets of HR. Okay. I liked when you were introducing and talking about HR, and you mentioned that HR helps brings in the talents, we source for the talents, we develop the talents, right? And get them to align with what the business wants to do, right? So recruiting is just one key aspect, right, of what we do in HR. So if you don't have, so in HR, you start out mostly as a generalist, right? Where you're doing a little bit of everything. You're doing recruitment, you're doing performance management, you're doing compensation, you're doing payroll. And then as you go further, you specialize. That's where you didn't have specialists. You didn't have the recruiters, people who are professional recruiters, hiring people. All right. So they source for the talents, they bring these talents, and then you then have people who even set up agencies to work with talents, link them up with businesses, get the profile, and then hire these people to match what the company needs, just to deliver on the business results.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me. Now, for someone who is just starting out in their HR career, what are the basics but important competencies that they must have to thrive in that space?
Interesting question. HR has evolved over the years. We've evolved tremendously over the years, and today we have well-defined competency frameworks. In fact, CIPM, which is the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management for Nigeria, who's hosting this program, has a well-researched competency framework, which is in place, right? Which defines all the different competencies and skills that helps you succeed as an HR professional. We have other bodies across the world. One of them is ACIPM. We have published several competency frameworks across the different cadres to help you succeed. But when I look at it personally, from my own point of view, I think I will touch on three competencies, which I think would help you succeed in today's world. And one of them is digital or data skills.
Digital or data skills, very important in the HR space. Okay.
We're no longer, you need to be able to work with technology. You need to be able to work with social media. Take recruitment, for example, which you mentioned. We're no longer we're no longer in the age where people will come to submit CVs at the gate or write letters. Dear HR manager, you understand?
Yeah.
We have a lot of ELPs now. You recruit online, you apply through LinkedIn, you apply through so many apps. So you need to be literate, digitally. You need to be able to handle technology. You need to be able to work with technology to connect with talents wherever they are, to work with technology to do your performance management system. We have so many out there, right? Which is helping to simplify HR processes, enhance our deliverables, and help us be more efficient. So one, you have to be digitally literate. Another I would mention is financial literacy. You must be able to understand the numbers. You must be able to understand the financial side of your business, how they're struggling, where they're doing well, what you can do as an HR person to impact that. So when you're going to speak with your CEO, you're going to speak with your finance person about, I need money for this, I need budget for this. You need to be able to demonstrate the value of what you're doing, right? And then I would say communication skill. You need to be able to communicate well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a key aspect of HR. And I would say be values driven. One of the things my mentors, one of my mentors mentioned to me is that you cannot be a balloon in the wind or a balloon at the beach. You know how a balloon is, it's blown everywhere, by any guts of wind, so you have to be values driven. Apart from the company values, your personal values, that's how you earn your respect. You have your integrity with the people who you're partnering, you're working with, right? So you need to have your values. You need to let that define who you are. Now, aside from this, now I'll just share a quick story with you. When I speak to people who want to switch into HR or people who are starting their career in HR, I ask them, why do you want to do HR? One of the things they tell me is, I'm a people person. Okay, so I say, what does that mean?
Okay.
What does that mean? Oh, I relate well with people. I'm a sociable person. And I was like, interesting. So then I asked them, so why do you think HR people are usually the most hated people in organizations? People don't like, HR people. And they say, oh, those ones, they are just mean. They are not approachable. They are just, gotten a lot of feedback like that. And I just smile, but the truth is, being a people person is not sufficient to succeed as an HR person. You must be able to navigate a lot of thin lines. You must be able to be a counselor. You must be able to be a tough decision maker. You must be able to implement policies of the company while being empathetic about it. Yeah. You must be able to be an employee advocate, while being a business representative. In short, you have to be able to wear multiple hats. Be event organizer, be someone who can navigate successfully between those little spots, and separate the black from the white, identify those gray spots, and then implement the company policy. So those are key for you to succeed as an HR person.
Wow, thank you. So it's very important to have communication skills, have financial skills, have be value driven as well. It's all very, very important. All right, so taking that one off the list of the things that we need. Does having a coach or a mentor make any significant impact on one's career, especially as an entry-level professional? I mean, you spoke just now and you did mention one of your mentors. Have you always had a mentor from the scratch, or that's something that you had to have along the way for someone who's just starting out? Is that really important?
Absolutely. I can't overemphasize on it. It's let me use this Nigerian way. It's a proverb. It says, follow who know road. And you won't get lost. Mentorship is such an important facet and element of growth, because one, it helps you glean from the experience of the person who is mentoring you, right? You're able to navigate and avoid those potholes or pitfalls that they stepped into. It helps you. It helps you climb on their wings or on their shoulders, so that your growth journey, your learning curve is shortened. You can either learn through two things. You can learn through experience or learn from other people's experience. And that's what mentorship brings to you. Personally, I've benefited a lot from mentorship, right? Starting out my career, even in other facets of life. So life mentorship, spiritual mentorship. I have mentors in different areas. And what they do for me is they help me, to get better, to learn from their experiences so that I avoid the mistakes they have made. And one thing I'll quickly say on mentorship is that mentorship is owned by the mentee. So for someone who's starting out and you're seeking mentorship, you're seeking people to mentor you, you must own the mentorship relationship. You know what you want to get. Be clear about what you want to get and try to seek them out. Dedicate time for them, right? And then try to give value as well, because whatever you're getting from the mentor, you have to be able to give value to them as well. So it's a relationship that you own. It's a relationship that you build. I give you another example. Even in my organization today, we have mentors in place across the different stratas, right? We have mentorship program for short periods, so 3 months, 6 months. We We have mentorships for developmental needs of certain employees. Managers can even identify, oh, I need you to mentor my subordinate on this area. Is it strategic thinking? Is it prioritization? So we have all those elements. And what that does for you is that it helps you. It helps you grow faster. It helps you climb on the shoulders, as I've said, of the people who you're getting mentorship from.
All right. Okay.
And before I go on, I just want to say I appreciate all my mentors. I've had so many, and I want to say a big thank you to them for their investment in me all through.
All right. Now, based on your experience so far and, having worked in different multinational companies, what are your top 5 career success tips that you will give any individual who's just starting their career? This is in general now.
Okay. 5. Okay. I would say the first one is you need to believe in yourself. Believe strongly in yourself. Okay. Believe that there's nothing that you cannot learn. Right? So whoever is an expert today learned it and became better at it. So you need to believe in yourself, especially if you're working in a multinational environment where you're competing against people globally. In fact, the world today, the world of work is a global environment. So you're competing in Nigeria against people in Australia, people in the UK, people in the US, and if you don't have a strong self-belief, you cannot compete effectively, right? So you have to have a strong self-belief. 2, as I've mentioned, have principles.
Principles.
You need to be values driven. I would say building on that, I'll say you need to define yourself early. You need to know where you are, who you are, and where you want to go, right? We ask this question during interviews, and we say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? One of the funny responses I get is, I see myself in a top management position. Which is sort of the funny responses we get. Yeah, but why we ask that question is we want to know how well you've defined yourself. How well are you clear about the kind of person, the place you want to go, how you want to be perceived? So you need to define yourself early. You need to be willing to stretch yourself consistently. Always put your hands up. Put your hands up for projects, put your hands up for assignments, be open to doing new things, right? And then I'll say, don't be afraid to seek feedback. Seek feedback from your mentors, from your coaches, from people you're around you. They would help you grow. And lastly, start from somewhere, no matter how small. If you're starting out your career, start from somewhere. You can't lose by starting from somewhere. Volunteer at organizations. So if you want to switch into a career in HR, volunteer somewhere and then learn. And then it prepares you to be where you want to go.
Of course, I love that. Now, apart from the competencies required that you've mentioned earlier, and are there some other important tips for, that will help both entry-level HR professionals and those who are switching from another profession to build an HR career?
Well, I'll start with this. I'll say join CIPM.
Join CIPM. That's the Chartered Institute of Personal Management. Number 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Join CIPM. Get certified. Because it prepares you. When I was starting out in HR,
John, are you there? Okay, I think we're having a little glitch here and there.
That I got certified in 18 months.
You're back.
And it helped me build the necessary knowledge to be better, right? And then be open to learning, continuous learning. Read books about HR, read books about finance, read books about marketing, continuously learn, And I'll say also, finally, have passion for the profession. To be honest, to be in HR requires passion. You can come to the office one day, you have your day planned, and then an employee has an accident at work. It disrupts your entire day. You have to switch. You have to reorganize your day. You have to call security. You have to get in touch with safety. You have to get in touch with the clinic. So you have to have passion for the day, for what you do, for the profession, because that will get you through the tough moments, the low days, where you would have those low moments, and then that will be what will propel you, get you up from the bed and say, I'm going to the office today. It will get you those moments when someone comes to bang on your table, and says, you must do this for me. And you're like, seriously? So you must have passion for the job. That will help you seriously excel in the role.
All right, awesome. Now, at what point can one pat themselves on the back and say their HR career is blooming? Are there any specific pointers to tell that you're doing amazing or you've actually gotten to the peak of your career in the HR world? What are some of these pointers?
For me, it's simple. I would say when you can see a clear link between what you're doing and the business results. All right, as an HR professional, what you can see the value of what you bring to the table. You can see the value of what the decisions you're helping the business make, and how it translates into results of the business, how it translates to the bottom line. Mm-hmm. I would also say that when you can see the impact of your work on people's lives and the community, when you can translate what you do into that value. And for us in HR, the work we do is so impactful. And that's one of the reasons why I switched into HR. I switched into HR from a finance background. Mm-hmm. And it was because I could see the value, so much value we brought to the business, as an HR person. So once you can see that clear link, right, you can pat yourself on the back to say, yes, the work I'm doing is valuable.
Awesome. Now, finally, as an HR professional, what is the best career advice you have ever been given? Ever? Maybe from your mentors, who knows?
Okay, I would say it was that always keep learning and growing, never stop learning and growing. And that has influenced me all through my life. I'm always looking to try out new things. I'm always looking to improve on my performance yesterday. I'm always looking to add to my knowledge. As I said, when I was talking about reading, I try to read diverse. Right now I have a mentor who is not an HR person, who is in strategy, right? And what I'm learning from that person is how to develop strategies, how to be a strategic thinker, because the person works as a strategy person in the organization. And I'm constantly learning, improving myself every day. And that is a key aspect, a key principle for me in life. And that's one thing that my mentors have shared with me.
All right. You're still listening to The Office on Lagos Talks 91.3, and we're speaking to the People Experience Lead West Africa at Cadbury Nigeria Limited, a subsidiary of Mondelēz International. And he's a professional, an HR expert. And if you have any question, you can just go ahead and ask. Someone here is saying, good evening. Thank God I'm tuned in. To your guest, the HR man, please, is it okay for a staff or junior staff earning this is a serious question. Earning 41,000 naira as a net pay and paying 3,500 as payee? That's coming from, well, I'm not going to mention his name. He wants to be anonymous. But yeah, okay. Do you understand the question?
Yes, I do. One thing I would say is that pay and compensation is actually linked to what you do. Right? What's your role? What's the grading of the role? And what's the business willing to pay? We are also guided in HR by what the law says, right? Today, minimum wage is 30,000 naira. And if you are earning a net pay of 41,000, and depending on what your role is, as I said, and what you're doing, right? I think that pay is above minimum wage. So it depends on the organization. Look, for us in HR, we do a lot of things from the reward space. We benchmark with what the market is paying. We do a lot of research to see, okay, what are our competitors doing? What can we pay as an organization? Do we want to say meet what the market is paying, or we want to work within our own budget, but we must comply with what the law is saying? I won't pretend to be a tax expert to say why you're paying 3,000 naira as payee, but I know that payee is regulatory and it's compulsory, right? For you to live and work in Lagos in Nigeria, you have to pay payee, right? So it's mandatory for you to pay. It has its own calculations and all that. But off the top of my head, I would say that what you're being paid is not against the law, right? It's dependent on what you're doing as an employee, and also all the other metrics I've mentioned.
All right. Awesome. Now we wrap it up right now. Do you have any last words to share with us before you go? All about, I'm getting more messages, so I think we'll take more messages before we wrap it up. Adebayo Mubarak is saying, thank you for the enlightening session so far. How do I enroll for CIPM as a fresher?
Fantastic question. It's easy. I think one of the things you mentioned at the beginning was the links to enroll with CIPM. They have a website which is available on the internet. All you need to do is go to that website. There are different roads to you have the membership route, you have the examination route. If you're still in school, CIPM has great partnerships with schools like LASU, where as you are in school, you are even doing the program itself, right? So it's available on the internet. All you need to do is log into their websites. There are different resources, and they would guide you on how to enroll, take all the exams. There are centers that can help you prepare for the exams and then get you ready to become certified.
All right. Thank you. So for those who will still or maybe have more questions to ask, remember you can tweet at Lagos Talks 913, call 0809 222 0913, 0809 234 5913. Lagos Talks, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Michelle.
Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Nasike.
Nasike, go ahead with your question.
Okay, I have a question for you. I would like him to speak from an HR perspective what an hourly wage would look like in Nigeria. Is it sustainable? Can it work? Would he advise, an hourly wage, a situation where companies pay hourly wage? I ask because one of the presidential candidates reviewed it in his manifesto. It was in his manifesto.
All right, thank you, Nasike. Appreciate you. Mr. John, did you hear the question?
Yes, on hourly wage. I think what I would say is we have the framework to become better, right? I know in some organizations, right, there are systems in place where you're paid on a daily basis, right? Paid on a monthly basis, and depending on how your contract is framed, right? Do we have the right structure right now to implement hourly wage like it's done in the UK, in the US? I would say we can create it.
Okay.
There's nothing impossible. We used to say in Nigeria that hybrid work, remote working was not possible. COVID happened. And then in my organization, we had a situation where people were working remotely for 2-3 years without coming to the office.
Okay.
A lot of organizations adapted to it, right? And it's now here to stay. So I don't think anything is impossible. I think we just need to manage it and ensure that it fits our own system. We have a term in HR that says it's not only global best practice. You have to be able to localize global best practice to fit into what locally is sustainable and applicable.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. John Alli. We do appreciate you for joining us today on The Office. We hope to have you back soon to share more insights, teach us new things, and help us get better, especially to those in the HR field already. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Coming up next is Critical Thinking on Lagos Talks 91.3. Don't go anywhere. Hi, Mr. Ali.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So much. Appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you, and apologies I couldn't come in physically. We had a product launch today, so
Okay.
I had to join in virtually.
Oh, okay, that's fine, no problem at all. I have a question.
Yes.
Or maybe an inquiry, so to speak.
Yeah.
Please keep it confidential. I'm thinking of, diversifying now in the future to corporate communications and maybe media relations. And I understand that many companies that usually would look for corporate comms or media relations personnel would always think of those who have a background in journalism or at least studied mass comm as first degree or something like that. So I've been in journalism for 7 years as a broadcaster, writer, and many other things. And I think I'll do very well in corporate communications. I think it's a more sustainable career that I want to embark on in the future. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
I don't think my mantra in life is nothing is impossible, right? Nothing is absolutely impossible. From a corporate point of view, I think one of the things that as an organization, what we look for is not just journalism. You need to have some exposure to media partnerships, media agencies. So, for example, the person who manages our corporate communications as an organization has not really worked in journalism, right? Yeah. But he's worked in corporate communications. He partners with media agencies. He partners with newspapers. So he has that flair, right? So you just need to have the right competencies for it. One of our media managers right now, in fact, really talented person, has never done journalism, right? She worked in media agency and then decided she wanted to get corporate experience, and then we hired her, and she's doing so well. Right. So you just need to build on the competencies that the business needs, right? Which is one, be able to, if it's corporate communications, have those right connections with media houses, right? Be able to drive great comms, right? Be able to, because in organizations like ours, you have a mix of corporate and government relations mixed together. So be able to do that well. If it's the media part you want to do, you need to do some volunteering with media agencies, get those experiences with brands management and all that, and you do well.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. I do appreciate it. It really helps.
You too. And please do keep in touch.
Can I have your number? Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
My number is 070.
Okay.
3123.
0703123.
1458.
1458, Mr. John Alli. Okay, I'll give you a call right now and I'll be in touch.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. That's me calling.
Okay, I'll save it. All right, bye.
Bye. Bye now.